Utale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sanyavari Paschachara Satarine. We're going to continue reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam today about Yogamaya potency. And I think today's class will be interesting. We'll learn more about how Yogamaya works. Yogamaya is not static. Yogamaya is not a one-trick pony. Yogamaya does many things. But we're going to begin with Kirtan. And today I will call up the harmonium. I just have to find it. Give me a second. I did not prepare in advance. I forgot where it is. Well, yeah, I think maybe it's here. No. Maybe it's... You'll have to forgive me for wasting your time, not remembering where it is. I guess maybe we won't have harmonium because I can't find it. It's in somewhere unknown, I can't remember. Can't even read it. Hare Krishna. Well, I guess we won't have a harmonium today. We'll go back to piano. I guess this is what Krishna wants today, piano. Maybe he likes piano. We lost the video. Sorry, trouble playing this video. Try again. Hare Krishna. Okay. Did I lose you or what? Oh, you're all here. I don't know. My video said I lost you. It looks like you're all here. I don't know. The internet looks like it's not having fun today, trying to broadcast. So I may be freezing up a bit, and maybe some of you have to come back. I don't know. It looks like we're broadcasting. Is that true? Yeah. Yes. Hare Krishna. You're still here. Okay. So we're going to read about Yogamaya as we have been reading before. And I wanted to read something we read last time because it's a summary of what is Yogamaya. And I think it would be useful for us to read it again. So with your permission, I'm going to indulge you in reading something which we read before. Except I can't find it. This is really weird. Weird. I have this document, and it erased. Looks like it's erased everything that I just worked on this morning. Hold on. We're in crisis mode here. I was working for about an hour on a document this morning, which was the old document that had all the quotes about Maya. And now I'm looking at this document, and there's only one or two quotes on it, which means there's trouble in paradise, which means I may have lost everything, and I can't understand why and where it's gone. And I'm just trying to undo everything I did to get back to where we were before. But it's not doing it. Oh my Govinda. So everything we had collected about Maya and Yogamaya is now missing. I guess I have to revert my computer to go back to like a few hours ago and get it up. I'm not sure how to do that. But anyway, so let's read what we have here, which is not much, but maybe enough for today. It was very strange. So this is from the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam. What I must have done is I must have pasted in something and had everything copied in the document. When I pasted in the new, it pasted in and erased everything else. And you're asking me, did you have it saved? And yeah, maybe saved like a month ago, but not with everything we had on Yogamaya. So I think there's a way to revert the computer back so it'll show up. I'll have to find out. So this is from the 10th canto. The Lord ordered Yogamaya, O my potency, who are worshipable for the entire world, and whose nature is to bestow good fortune upon all living entities. Go to Braja, where there live many cowherd men and their wives. In that very beautiful land, where many cows reside, Rohini, the wife of Vasudeva, is living there in the home of Nanda Maharaj. Other wives of Vasudeva are also living there, incognito, because of fear of Kamsa. Please go there. So here we see, and you will see this happening often in the 10th canto, Lord Krishna is telling Yogamaya what to do. So we understand Yogamaya is like the producer of the Lila, and sometimes the director also of her own initiative. But sometimes Krishna takes the role of director. And so here we see Krishna's directing Yogamaya. This is what I want you to do. So he had a specific mission for Yogamaya, which we'll read about. Well, he had many things Many things he wanted her to do, and this is one of them. Purport. Nanda Gokul, the resident of King Nanda, was itself very beautiful, and when Yogamaya was ordered to go there and encourage the devotees with fearlessness, it became even more beautiful and safe, because Yogamaya had the ability to create such an atmosphere. The Lord ordered her to go to Nanda Gokula. So he wanted the devotees to become fearless, and if Yogamaya would go there, the devotees would become fearless. And it's already Vrindavan, which is transcendentally beautiful, but if she goes, Yogamaya goes there, it becomes more beautiful. And that's where her service is. So now we're reading, I believe, from I'm not sure if this is, not sure where this verse is from. It says 10-18, but I don't think that's true. Within the womb of Devaki is my partial plenary expansion known as Sankarshan or Sesha. Without difficulty, transfer him into the womb of Rohini. So this is interesting. Balaram is appearing in the womb of Devaki. And now Krishna is telling Yogamaya, get Balaram from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini, the wife of Nanda Maharaj, or maybe Vasudeva, I'm forgetting. Anyway, when she was given this order, she was thinking, how do you get a child from one womb to another? Even though she's Yogamaya, she was wondering, how am I going to do this? Not easy. Let's read the purport. The first plenary expansion of Krishna is Baladev, also known as Sesha. The Sesha incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead supports the entire universe. And the eternal mother of this incarnation is Mother Rohini. Because I am going into the womb of Devaki, the Lord told Yogamaya, the Sesha incarnation has already gone there and made suitable arrangements so that I may live there. Now he should enter the womb of Rohini, his eternal mother. So in other words, Balaram entered the womb of Devaki to purify it, to make sure everything was good for the Lord's appearance, just as you would purify any place where the Lord appears, or you would put the Lord in the deity form. So once that was done, okay, he doesn't have to stay there. Now everything is clean, and now Krishna can appear. Sesha has done his business, so he can go in the womb of Rohini. And so now Krishna's asking Yogamaya, do you have to make this arrangement? So we'll continue reading. A pure devotee is always transcendentally situated because of executing 9 different processes of bhakti: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Parasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmani, Vedanam. Thus situated in devotional service, a devotee, although in the material world, is not in the material world. Yet a devotee always fears, because I am associated with the material world, so many contaminations affect me. Therefore, he is always alert in fear, which gradually diminishes his material association. I think I may have got these verses and purports a little mixed up. But Prabhupada here is talking about Devaki's fear that Kamsa could kill her son. And so Prabhupada equates this to a fear a devotee has. The fear that non-devotees could disrupt the spreading of Krishna consciousness, or the fear that because I'm associated with the material world, I could become contaminated. And Prabhupada says that fear is healthy because that fear purifies us. So, we sometimes say, well, fear is a condition of material existence. But fear of Maya is a condition of spiritual existence. And we talked about this, I think we talked about this a little bit last week, and the week before, when Prabhupada says, I pray to Krishna that I won't fall down. And so Prabhupada always exalts fear of Maya, that it's healthy, that it's something we should do. And so here we see it also. It's kind of a contradiction. Well, I'm a devotee, I'm protected. And then you might say, well, if you have faith that Krishna will protect you, why would you pray? Why would you be afraid of the material world? Because that's just the alertness of a devotee, that we're a bit weak and material energy is very strong. So, alertness. Yeah, don't get too near the fire. Basically, that's the idea. It's always careful. Don't get too close to the fire. Symbolically, Mother Devaki's constant fear of Kamsa was purifying her. A pure devotee should always fear material association, and in this way, all the asuras of material association will be killed, as the Sad Garbhasuras were killed by Kamsa. So, Sad Garbhasuras were the 6 sons of Devaki that were all killed. And it explains what they represent and why Prabhupada is saying, he said, if we fear material association, that's good for us. We'll be protected from 6 contaminations. And these 6 contaminations took birth as 6 sons of Devaki, and each one was killed. And it symbolizes when we kill these 6 contaminations, then Krishna can sit within our heart. So what are these 6 contaminations? It's explained. It is said that from the mind, Marichi appears. In other words, Marichi is an incarnation of the mind. The mind has 6 sons: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha, and Matsarya. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, and envy. We're all familiar with these. These are taking birth in the mind. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, and envy. The Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in pure devotional service. This is confirmed in the Vedas. Bhaktir evainam darshyati. Only bhakti can bring one in contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared from the womb of Devaki, and therefore Devaki symbolically represents bhakti, and Kamsa symbolically represents material fear. When a pure devotee always fears material association, his real position of bhakti is manifested, and he naturally becomes uninterested in material enjoyment. So, this is nice because these 6 items that take birth in the mind, or the 6 conditions of material existence, are things that sometimes we make friends with, like lust and envy. Yes, I know lust very well. Actually, lust is one of my friends. Lust is always, wherever I go, lust accompanies me. He helps me enjoy. Or envy, I find envy useful. I compete with people, and envy helps me become more competitive, do better. Greed's good. I get more. I work harder. I study harder because I'm greedy. And that way I do better, motivated by my greed to achieve a higher position in this world. And if I don't get angry, if I don't stand up for myself, then people will push me around. So Prabhupada is saying here, these are things we should fear, but in so many cases, we make friends with them. We invite them over. We invite them into our life. In saying we should fear them, it means we should fear having them in our life. So kind of a contradiction, isn't it? Sometimes the things we should fear, we welcome into our life. So I should fear being lusty. I should fear being angry. Lust, anger, greed, envy, material illusion, thinking, identifying with the body. I should fear that. That consciousness I should be afraid of. That's what Prabhupada's saying. Interesting, right? Mm-hmm. When the 6 sons of Marichi are killed, such as fear, and one is freed from material contamination, within the womb of Bhakti, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears. So we could look at these 6 things as things which are on the altar that are dirty, that have to be cleaned before we can bring Krishna to sit on the altar. In this case, the altar is our heart. So these 6 items have to be cleared out from the altar of our heart, and then Krishna can sit there. That's the idea. Thus, the 7th pregnancy of Devaki signifies the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After the 6 sons, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha, and Matsara, are killed, the Sesha incarnation creates a suitable situation for the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, when one awakens his natural Krishna consciousness, Lord Krishna appears. This is the explanation given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. This is 10 to Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, 2nd chapter, verse 9, purport. And so I have one more thing to read, and then we'll take your questions. And I have many more things to read, but this is the document they're supposed to be on, and now I can't access them. Unless somebody can tell me, how do we access a former version of this document? There's a simple way to do it. We have more to read. Okay, this is the next thing. You better have a lot of questions or comments, because this is the last thing I have to read right now. I can go back to the original source and I can find some things to read. That's possible. So we'll see. I can go back to the Veda base where I was studying this and again access this. So this is the 10th canto, 3rd chapter, and this is the summary of this chapter. The Lord reminded Vasudeva and Devaki of 2 other incarnations in which he had appeared as their son. He appeared as Prishnigarbha and Vamanadeva. And now this was the 3rd time he was appearing as the son of Devaki, to fulfill their desire. The Lord then decided to leave the residence of Vasudeva and Devaki in the prison house of Kamsa. In other words, Krishna made this decision to go to Vrindavan, and when he made that decision, at this very time, Yogamaya took birth as the daughter of Jashoda. Right at that time. Okay, I'm going to leave. Now, Yogamaya, Subhadra, is taking birth as the daughter of Jashoda. By this arrangement of Yogamaya, Vasudeva was able to leave the prison house. So you know the story. The cell opened, the guards fell asleep, the outside doors opened. You know, this was Krishna's divine arrangement, and so Krishna's ordering Yogamaya, and sometimes, as I said, sometimes Yogamaya just knows what to do. So by the influence of Yogamaya, this is an example of another example of how Yogamaya works. She arranges things within the pastimes, and this is one thing that she arranged. So all of a sudden, the guards are asleep, the jail door unlocked, the prison outside door unlocked. Yogamaya took birth as the daughter of Jashoda. By the arrangement of Yogamaya, Vasudeva was able to leave the prison house and save the child from the hands of Kamsa. When Vasudeva brought Krishna to the house of Nanda Maharaj, he saw that by Yogamaya's arrangement, Jashoda, as well as everyone else, was deeply asleep. So why was this Yogamaya's arrangement? Well, Vasudeva had this little baby, Krishna, and so he brought the baby, put the baby on the bed, and came back with Jashoda's baby, Yogamaya. And by Yogamaya's arrangement, Jashoda was asleep and Jashoda was not aware if she gave birth to a male or a female. Jashoda, as well as everyone else, was deeply asleep by Yogamaya's arrangement. Thus, Vasudeva exchanged the babies, taking Yogamaya from Jashoda's lap and placing Krishna there instead. Then Vasudeva returned to his own place, having taken Yogamaya as his daughter. He placed Yogamaya on Devaki's bed and prepared to be a prisoner as before. So by Yogamaya's arrangement, he was unshackled, and then he got back in and put on his chains or whatever, was shackling him. The doors were locked. Guards woke up, and it appeared that nothing had happened. In Gokul, Jashoda could not understand whether she had given birth to a male or a female. So this is one story there's another story that actually she had given birth to Krishna, and this form of Krishna emerged. But for the sake of this discussion, it's just showing how Yogamaya works within the Lilas to arrange. I was thinking this morning, how would you describe Yogamaya within the Lilas of Krishna? Because Yogamaya does more than just work within the Lilas. But her actions in the Lila, I was thinking, would you describe her as a producer, or would you describe her as a director? And more on the side of production, as we could see from this Lila. Krishna was the director. He was directing her. This is what I need you to do. I need you to get Balaram out of the womb of Devaki into the womb of Rohini. So that's one thing. And I need you to arrange for me to get out. Now, whether Krishna told Yogamaya, it doesn't appear here that he told Yogamaya to put all the guards to sleep and open the jail doors and so on. And so that gives Yogamaya sometimes the director position also, that she knows what needs to be done. She knows the Leela, and then she does it, takes her own initiative. So you see both things, Krishna telling her, or Krishna or her knowing the Leela, knowing what needs to be done. So that's that. Hare Krishna. So I think we're losing everybody. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I don't know if I lost you or not. Am I losing? Every time I go back from the document, it shows me you're not here. I guess you're here. So I'm going to go back and see what you said. Some comments. I think my internet connection is failing quite a lot. Planetary change is happening these days. Chant Hare Krishna, and you'll counteract the evil influences of the planets, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. That's all I can say. Got the purports there you can read. And it's a Word document, not a Google Doc. If anyone knows how to get back an older version of the Word doc, let me know. That's That's what we need. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is go to the Veda base where I was collecting all this information and read some things. Mm. Mm. So what I was reading to you was the last thing that I had saved, and the rest of the document disappeared. So I'm going to go back up a little bit. And this this may be a little cumbersome, but let's read. I'll just read some things, and sometimes I'll have to search for them. Sometimes I may read something that's not exactly what I thought it was, but let's just see how it goes. This is from the 10th Canto, 2nd chapter, verse 9. O all auspicious Yogamaya, I shall then appear with my full 6 opulences as the son of Devaki, and you will appear as the daughter of Mother Yasoda, the queen of Maharaj Nanda. So he's telling her she's going to appear and what's going to happen. So in the purport, Krishna says in the Gita, but what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Everything is situated as a part of the Supreme Lord's potency. In regard to Lord Krishna's appearance in the womb of Devaki, Brahma played a part also because on the bank of the milk ocean, he requested the Supreme Personality of Godhead to appear. A part was also played by Baladev, the first expansion of Godhead. Similarly, Yogamaya, who appeared as the daughter of Jashoda, also played a part. Thus, Jiva Tattva, Vishnu Tattva, and Shakti Tattva all integrated with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when Krishna appears, he appears with all his integrated parts. So, the different energies, Vishnu Tattva, Balaram, Shakti Tattva, Yogamaya. Brahma is Jiva Tattva. As explained in previous verses, Yogamaya was requested to attract Sankarshan Baladev from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. And this was a very heavy task for her. It's interesting. How am I going to do that? Yogamaya naturally could not see how it was possible for her to attract Sankarshan. Therefore, Krishna addressed her as Shubhe, auspicious, and said, quote, be blessed, take power from me, and you will be able to do it. In other words, don't worry, I will do it, just make the effort, I will help you do it. By my potency, it will be done. By the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, anyone can do anything, for the Lord is present in everything, all things being his parts and parcels, angsa bhagena, and increasing or decreasing by his supreme will. All things being his parts and parcels. Balaram was only 15 days older than Krishna. By the blessings of Krishna, Yogamaya became the daughter of Mother Yasoda. But by the supreme will, she was not able to enjoy the parental love of her father and mother. Krishna, however, although not actually born from the womb of Mother Yasoda, enjoyed the parental love of Mother Yasoda and Nanda. By the blessings of Krishna, Yogamaya was able to achieve the reputation of being the daughter of Yasoda, who also became famous by the blessings of Krishna. Jashoda means one who gives fame. So, the thing that caught my attention in this purport is that even Yogamaya, this is interesting, Yogamaya is being asked to make this transfer, and she's having trouble. She can't figure out how to do it. And Krishna says, what did Prabhupada say Krishna said? I want to read this again. Krishna said, "Be blessed. Take power from me, and you will be able to do it." And she was being addressed as Shubhe, auspicious. So, and then Prabhupada said, this is interesting, by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, anyone can do anything. For the Lord is present in everything. Yeah, so then you may say, well, can I do anything and everything? This is in the context of Krishna specifically asking Yogamaya to do something. So then we understand that he wants her to do something and he will empower her to do it specifically. It's not that, oh, I just read the purport so I could do anything with Krishna's mercy, so let's test this out. And I'm climbing on the roof and I want to see if I can fly, because Prabhupada said, well, I could do anything. That's anything that Krishna orders you to do and specifically empowers you to do. Then you can do it. So sometimes Prabhupada would give an order and we would doubt it, or maybe not doubt the order, but doubt that we could do something about it. But we would try, and we would understand more and more that when Prabhupada wanted something, there would be divine help on the way to make it happen, because it was his desire. And we understand that the desire of the pure devotee is always fulfilled. Krishna loves to fulfill the desire of the pure devotee. So if Prabhupada wanted something and he asked us to do what he wanted, we understood this is not necessarily going to be an ordinary activity, and I'm not necessarily going to be limited by my own limitations, because if Krishna wants this, then and I'm willing to do it, then he can decide to give me the avesh, the empowerment that's required to do it. So that's the idea. It's not just like anything you dream up or any crazy idea. But the context here is this is what Krishna wants Yogamaya to do. And so it's like saying, don't worry, this is what I want to happen. So because I want it to happen, somebody has to do it, and I'm asking you to do it. And whoever I ask to do it, I will empower to do it. And Krishna told that to Arjuna. I want the battle to be fought. I want you to fight it. Therefore, I will empower you. And if you study how Prabhupada viewed himself in respect to this empowerment idea of coming to the West and being empowered, you see a lot of the way Prabhupada looked at it was not from personal qualification, but more from willingness to try. And that because of the willingness to try, because it was something that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta wanted, then he felt Bhaktisiddhanta was making it happen. Not that he was making it happen, but it was like set in motion already. So he kind of felt almost like I just have to show up I just have to jump on the escalator. This escalator is moving by the desire of Bhaktisiddhanta. I just have to get on it. And if I get on it, I'll be taken to the next floor. Something like that. I don't know if that's the best example. But, it's nice sometimes to study Prabhupada's mood, his consciousness, his attitude, when he's coming to America, how he's thinking, how he's feeling, how he's seeing. And if you do that, you'll see this is one of the things that comes out. That anything that is the desire of Guru or Krishna, then we just, if we execute that desire, if we try to fulfill that desire, because it's their desire, it's beyond us. It's that desire is being empowered, that they want this. So because they want it and you try, then the impossible can happen. And it's like the escalator's already going up. So I can't walk up those stairs. Well, you don't have to. Because they have these escalators, they don't move, and it looks like you have to walk up the stairs. But as soon as you get on them, they move. It saves energy. In America, they don't have those. There's just escalators are always moving. But I've seen in other countries, they stop moving, or maybe some airports, it stops moving when there's nobody on it to conserve energy. So it's a little bit like that. I can't walk up the stairs. Well, just try. And then you put your foot on the stairway and you don't have to walk up. It's walking you up. So I think that's a good analogy. If Prabhupada wants something and you try to execute it, now it no longer just depends on you, because there's a transcendental system already in place. And Krishna is fulfilling Prabhupada's desire. But on the practical platform, to fulfill that desire, there needs to be boots on the ground. People actually have to do it. And so Prabhupada said, the movement will spread with you or without you. In other words, Krishna will spread it, and he'll find people, he'll use people to spread it. So he'll use you, or he'll use me, or we'll give up serving and he'll use somebody else. So he'll use someone else to get on the escalator. If it's not you, he'll use somebody. But once you get on the escalator, then it'll go up. So that way we can have confidence. If Krishna wants something, if Prabhupada wants something, then we just have to make the effort. And the system is already in place. So we're just kind of tapping into the system. And they'll make it happen. And that's why devotees sometimes do amazing things. Because the system's already working. They're just, it's kind of like these. You have some turnkey system where you don't really know how to do something, and they take you right from the beginning. Do this, then do this, then do this, and then at the end, you have a business, or you have something. You have created something or accomplished something that you couldn't accomplish on your own because it was a system that you just followed. So it's something like that. The desire of the pure devotee creates a system. Yeah. So, yeah. Are you able to hear me? Or am I losing you or what? I can't. Give me a sign of life that you're there. I can't tell. Because whenever I go back from my Word document to this, it looks like nothing's happening. Can you give me a sign of life that you're there? Or maybe I should look at my WhatsApp and you're all telling me, oh, it's not working. I can't tell. Is it working? Is it not working? I have a different internet connection today, which I was testing again to see if it's reliable. So I need a sign of life. Someone give me a sign of life that you're there. We're here. You heard everything I said? Okay. Yeah, I could try to change the internet connection. Maybe that's a good idea. But trying to change it in mid-air, I could lose you. So now that you're here, yeah, this interconnection is completely unstable. It can get very fast, very quick, or very slow. I had to test it again. I think I'm going to return it because it's not working well. Okay. So, so based on what I just said, if we can conclude if something is Krishna's desire, if it's his will, then we should not feel that it's something we can't do or something that's difficult for us. If we know this is what Krishna wants, then he's already making it happen. Then he's just looking for some people to do the footwork. And that's basically what Krishna told Arjuna. He said, Arjuna's saying, I can't fight. And Krishna said, no, it's already, you just go through the motions. I've already killed the soldiers. I've already arranged that they're going to be killed. So you can look at it a little bit like that. This is Prabhupada's desire to do something. It's already been arranged, but he needs people to actually do it. And so even though you may feel unqualified, if you're willing to do it, then you see, and I'm sure you've had this experience, that you get ability to do something, and you realize quite often that the ability that you have to do something is actually beyond your ability. But because Krishna wants this job done, he gives you the ability to do it, because it's already, you can say, it's already done by his desire, but he needs boots on the ground to do it, and then it's our great fortune that we can do it. So if you see it like that, it removes a lot of this hesitation and this fear of, I can't do this. But you say, no, it's already done. You just have to push the button. It'll all happen. So a lot of times we're doing service, we're just actually pushing a button. Everything is already done, but somebody needs to push the button. And so don't be so, don't limit yourself when it's something specific as Prabhupada's desire. Then understand he will make arrangements. And we see this often, that we try to do something and maybe we're not so materially qualified to do it, but it's definitely something that Prabhupada wants, and we make the effort, and then, a few weeks later, a few months later, someone comes to help us who's really good at something that we're not good at. And this man comes and he gives a donation, and this person comes and says, well, I have this empty building here, you want to use it? And one thing after another. We may be inept in acquiring facility, but because it's meant to happen, or it's the desire of Prabhupada, you'll see situations like that happening. There's just things coming that you, on your own, would not have been able to achieve or organize. So that's how it works. So that way, don't be so afraid. Now, sometimes it's not Prabhupada's desire, and then we're trying to do something and it doesn't seem to be happening. And sometimes it is his desire, but we're in a hostile environment, and it's going to be harder work. But aside from the practical consideration, the main idea is don't limit yourself, especially when engaged in a service that is the will of Prabhupada, because if it's his will, Krishna will make all the arrangements for it to happen. Isn't that nice? Then you say, oh, I'm doing this service. Oh, that's so hard. And you say, no, I just have to push some buttons, and the machine will do everything. So that's basically what I'm doing. The machine is doing everything. I think you can't see me now. But anyway. Yeah. So Anuradha has a comment. Talking about frequencies, it is said that fear is the lower energy compared with love, the highest energy. So how can we understand Prabhupada is suggesting to have fear of material association? Good question. Should we understand fear as precaution? Well, the point is that there is a transcendental, like yesterday we were talking, I think you must have been in the class. Maybe you were translating it. I can't remember which class. But it was the last, yeah, so you were there translating. The last class, and no, it wasn't the last class. Maybe it was the last class in Argentina, and they're asking about anger. And I was telling them, well, anger is just an energy, and then you can use your anger in healthy or unhealthy way. So it's the same thing. Everything that exists can exist in a healthy or an unhealthy way. Or philosophically speaking, everything can exist in a transcendental or material way. So fear of something which is dangerous or potentially detrimental for your Krishna consciousness is transcendental fear. It doesn't have the qualities of the modes of nature within them. As fear of death, for example, is coming from the bodily concept, or it's fear of the unknown, ignorance, and like that. But if we don't have fear of material energy, that would be a sign of ignorance. So fear of material energy is actually a sign of knowledge. So nothing is bad in and of itself. It's bad within context. Anger is not bad, but what's the context of your anger? How are you using it? Benevolently or malevolently? For the good of yourself and others, or for the destruction of yourself and others? So as we say with everything material, it's neutral, and depending on how you use it, it's material or spiritual. So same thing with fear. Just see fear like you see anything else. It's just an energy. So when they're saying, fear, the emotion of fear is the opposite of love, then we would say, yeah, the material emotion of fear, or the material concept of love. But Mother Yasoda loves Krishna, and she has intense fear that someone may hurt Krishna, or intense fear that Krishna may not get enough to eat. And that fear is out of love. So in that sense, in the transcendental sense, fear and love are the same. In the material sense, as you say, they're opposites. But in the spiritual sense, if a devotee is afraid for Krishna, it's out of love. So, what are you the two ways. You look at it, what are you using it for? How are you using it? And what is the emotion in connection with it? Is my fear out of love? Or is my fear out of concern for my material well-being? So, I don't know if you heard that answer. My screen is black right now. Probably yours is also. This is not a happy day on Facebook. It's the planets. That's it. It's the planets. They're affecting the internet. And little demons are getting in there. And they're trying to get information. And they're going to use it against us. I think life is so, just so boring that people come up with conspiracy theories just to believe them. And then they don't have to play all these virtual games, make believe. They can just make believe it's actually happening, and then their life becomes a little more interesting. That's my conspiracy theory about conspiracy theories. This day-to-day life is not that interesting for most people. But if you mix in a little conspiracy theory, then it becomes more interesting. Now, the thing is, Jyotirmayi, Prabhupada, he had so much faith in Krishna that it was rare that he allowed it's rare that he made calculations based on astrological influences. And if he did, It was, one or two things. Like he wouldn't see Indira Gandhi on Thursday afternoon because it's considered an inauspicious time to inaugurate something. So he didn't do it. But in general, if there were some astrological calculations, they said, oh, today's not a good day to travel for this or that. So if it wasn't inconvenient, sometimes he would follow it, but not always give so much stress to it. And he would give more stress to the holy name, that it will counteract all evil influences if you chant purely. So that was Prabhupada's mood. Hare Krishna. All right, so now I have to find something else to read. So I have to check, because this is a little challenging. I have to remember. So I'll just read this. We'll just see. Well, I'm not sure this is entirely relevant, but it's information. This is from the 10th Canto, 2nd chapter, 10th verse. It's good that we get to read a lot of the Bhagavatam. It's Prabhupada's words for us. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, kamastasthaya jnana prapadyate nyadevataha. Those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender unto demigods. Therefore, the word manusha, meaning human being here, refers to one who does not know the actual goal of life. Such a person wants to enjoy the material world by taking birth in a highly elevated family with the benefits of education, beauty, and immense wealth, which in this material world are desirable. One who has forgotten the real aim of life may worship goddess Durga, Maya Shakti, under various different names for different purposes and in different places. As there are many holy places for worship of Krishna, there are also many holy places in India for worship of Durga Devi or Maya Devi, who took birth as the daughter of Jashoda. And you're saying, wait a minute, I thought Yogamaya took birth as the daughter of Jashoda, and here it is said Durga took birth as the daughter of Jashoda, and Maya Devi, Maya personified, which is Durga. So what does that mean? It means that when Yogamaya expands, she's Maya. And sometimes it's a little confusing because the word Yogamaya can sometimes be used in a context when you're talking about both Yogamaya and Mahamaya, because Yogamaya includes Mahamaya. After cheating Kamsa, Maya Devi dispersed herself to various places, especially in Vindhyachala, to accept regular worship from ordinary men. So she appeared, you know the story. Kamsa thought this is the 8th child that's going to kill her. Turns out to be a female. She takes the form of Durga, says, Kamsa, cool down, otherwise I'll chop your head off. And the person who's going to kill you, he's already taken birth. He's already out there, so start sweating, basically. So Yogamaya can take the form of Durga, or the Durga has various forms. She can take those forms because it's just another manifestation of her. I don't know if that's confusing because she's not an ordinary person, so I can't think of her like an ordinary person, but she can manifest different forms. After cheating Kamsa, Maya Devi dispersed herself to various places, especially in Vindhyachala, to accept regular worship from ordinary men. A human being should actually be interested in understanding Atma Tattva, the truth of Atma, the spirit soul, and Paramatma, the supreme soul. Those who are interested in Atma Tattva, worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kasmin nu Bhagavo Vigyate Sarvam Idam Vigyatam Bhavatiti Mundaka Upanishad. I'm tired this morning. Brain is not working so well, not so awake. However, as explained in the next verse of this chapter, those who cannot understand Atma Tattva, Apashyatam Atma Tattvam, worship Yogamaya in her different features. So they worship Yogamaya in her different features as Durga, Chandi, Chandika, different forms of Durga. So worshiping, not actually worshiping Yogamaya, but worshiping Yogamaya in these different forms. So they're worshiping the different forms, the external forms of Yogamaya. Finish reading the purport. There's a verse here. This is from Bhagavatam 2.1.2. Shotavyadini Rajendra Nrinam Shanti Sahasrasaha Apashyatam Atmatattam Griheshu Grihamedinam. Griheshu Grihamedinam. Those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of the ultimate truth, have many subject matters for hearing in human society, O Emperor. That's the verse. And the purport continues. Those who are interested in remaining in this material world and are not interested in spiritual salvation have many duties. But for one who is interested in spiritual salvation, the only duty is to surrender fully unto Krishna. Such a person is not interested in material enjoyment. So people are worshiping Durga in her various forms for material enjoyment. And sometimes Prabhupada points out a simple, but very deep at the same time, that someone is, let's say someone is worshiping Durga, and they're praying to Durga, they're doing festival for Durga, they're doing arti to Durga, they're doing kirtan for Durga. They're doing basically the same thing we do for Krishna, except it's for Durga. And the result, even though the activity is the same, because of the object of worship, the result is different. And that's, when you think about it, it's kind of tragic. It's like opening a store in the wrong neighborhood and your business fails, where if you just would have opened the store in another neighborhood, you would be fabulously successful. So something like that. You're going to worship Durga, what are you going to get? Doesn't seem to be working so well also because a lot of poor people are worshiping Durga and they remain poor. So maybe the worship is not correct, or maybe she's not happy with them. But you understand the point. You worship. If you're going to worship anyway, why not worship Krishna? Make some more money, so to speak. Oh, the net is having difficulty today. It's in the stars. Really? What if one day the whole internet crashes and it never recuperates? Wow. I'll have nothing to do. I'll sit around twiddle my thumbs. If it crashes for like a week, that would be like a nice vacation, don't you think? Nothing works. And we can just read books and chant and do kirtan. And I can spend the whole week recording music. Okay. I guess there's nothing that controversial in these purports to make you ask too many questions or write too many comments. Let's see. What else is here? I'm just going to, this may not have to do directly with more deeply understanding Yogamaya, but I don't want to sit here and read everything and have you sit watching me read till I find something that is entirely in alignment with what we're discussing. So I just thought, let me just read whatever is being said about Yogamaya, although it may not be specifically giving us any deeper understanding of Yogamaya per se. So this is from 10:2:14. 10:2:14. And then Nadi is going to put that up. Thus instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yogamaya immediately agreed with it. I think it's referring to transferring Balaram to the womb of Rohini. With the Vedic mantra Om, she confirmed that she would do whatever he asked. Not whatever, to do what he asked. Thus, having accepted the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, she circumambulated. That's a word sometimes mispronounced. She circumambulated him and started for the place known as Nanda Gokul. There she did everything just as she had been told. No, so this is not the order about Balaram. This is the order about go to Gokul and make it auspicious. So let's read the purport and see what happened. And this may take our discussion in a different direction, but for today's class, I think that's fine. After receiving the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yogamaya twice confirmed her acceptance by saying, "Yes, sir, I shall do as you order." Excuse me for one moment. I want to remember something. Yes, sure. Yes, sir, I shall do as you order, and then saying Om. He's given an order. Yogamaya is given an order, go to Gokul. Nice order. And then she says, Om. That means, yes, I'm going to do it. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that Om signifies Vedic confirmation. Oh, so maybe we could adopt this in the ISKCON culture. Instead of saying yes or Haribol, we say Om. But then everyone would think you're becoming a impersonalist. Anyway, you can try it in your temple, see what happens. Maybe become a new custom in ISKCON. Prabhu, can you do this? Om. You're going to be back at 7? Om. Now, I don't know, what do you say when you want to say no? Is there another mantra that says no? Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that Om signifies Vedic confirmation. Thus, Yogamaya very faithfully received the Lord's order as a Vedic injunction. It is a fact that whatever is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a Vedic injunction that no one should neglect. In Vedic injunctions, there are no mistakes, illusion, cheating, or imperfection. Unless one understands the authority of the Vedic version, there is no purpose of quoting Shastra. No one should violate the Vedic injunctions. Rather, one should strictly execute the orders given in the Vedas, as stated in the Gita, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te, Karya Karya Vivashtito, Gyatva Shastram Vidanoktam Karma Kartum Iharasi. One should understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that one may be gradually elevated. So, this concept, this concept of Shastra as Shastra meaning as, you could say, guidelines for action. And outside Shastra, technically speaking, if we act outside of the guidelines for action, we're acting not really anymore as civilized human beings. This is the Shastra. Following the Shastra makes us civilized. And if we act outside the Shastra, it just means we're doing what we want. There's no basis in any kind of transcendental knowledge or authority. It's just, this is what I feel like doing, or this is what I understand. So that's why often when we get some, what we think is a revelation or a realization, we want to confirm that this is aligned with Shastra. It's not just my personal misunderstanding or personal desire. So that's the idea. Not easy to digest all this information, yeah. Maybe we should go back and digest it more. Well, we see with Yogamaya is just, she's showing this example that whatever Krishna tells her to do, she just does it. Difficult or easy or whatever. So, I don't understand what was so hard to understand. Well, one time a devotee was reading Nectar Devotion, and he said to Prabhupada, there's parts of Nectar Devotion I can't understand. It's just like way beyond me. Prabhupada said, keep reading. You'll understand. See, part of the reason that it's difficult to understand is because we're trying to understand it within a material context. So when you try to understand something in a material context, you look for material points of reference to make sense out of it, right? So that's the problem, because if something is transcendental, there's no material point of reference for it. And because you don't have a material point of reference, you think, I can't understand this because it doesn't make sense according to my reference points. But the point is not to try to understand something that's transcendental for material reference points. That's what makes it hard, because there aren't any, or there may not be any. Or they may be only analogous to some things, material, but not even always that's true. And so if you accept it as its own distinct transcendental nature that runs by its own laws, its own rules, its own conditions, which are transcendental to material conditions, and try to understand it within that context, then you begin to understand. You say, oh, my rules don't apply here. That's why I couldn't understand it, because I was applying my rules to the transcendence. So if you drop your rules and try to understand the transcendental rules, then it'll start making sense. You say, wait a minute, how Yogamaya is Durga at the same time, and Yogamaya covers the non-devotees, but she also covers the devotees. But I thought Maya covers the non-devotees, but Yogamaya is Maya, and your mind is about to explode. Just drop your rules and try to understand transcendental rules, and then it'll start to make sense. Oh, on the transcendental realm, they can expand. On the transcendental realm, they have different energies. Not everyone is a limited jiva soul. Yogamaya is not Jiva, she's Shakti Tattva, eternal associate of Krishna. And then it's like, oh, okay, now I understand. This is different. It's like if you go into a different country and you act according to your culture, sometimes it won't work. And you'll say, well, my country, we do it this way. Say, yeah, but you're in another country now. So if you do that, people, you won't be able to interact with people. It's not the way we do it here. It won't make sense to people. So then you have to readjust. Okay, what are the rules in Italy? How do they do things in Italy? Oh, different from Lithuania. Oh, okay. Once I understand the rules, you go, this doesn't make any sense to me. It's so crazy. No, you understand this is the culture. These are the rules. Then it makes sense. Something like that. Hopefully that'll help you. Okay. We have 6 minutes. What are we going to do now? You want me to read some more? Okay, read one more thing. Let's see what we find. And if anybody can help me figure out how to get an older version of Word back, then I'll get the document back. So here's the 10 to 5th verse from and purport from 10 to 15. When the child of Devaki was attracted and transferred into the womb of Rohini by Yogamaya, Devaki seemed to have a miscarriage. Thus all the inhabitants of the palace loudly lamented, "Alas! Devaki has lost her child." All the inhabitants of the palace includes Kamsa. When everyone lamented, Kamsa joined in compassion, thinking that perhaps, because of drugs or some other external means, Devaki had undergone an abortion. The real story of what happened after Yogamaya attracted the child of Devaki into the womb of Rohini in the 7th month of Rohini's pregnancy is described as follows in the Harivangsha. So now you're getting the story. At midnight, while Rohini was sleeping deeply, she experienced, as if in a dream, that she had undergone a miscarriage. After some time, when she awoke, she saw that this had indeed happened, and she was in great anxiety. But Yogamaya then informed her, quote, "O auspicious lady, your child is now being replaced. I am attracting a child from the womb of Devaki, and therefore your child will be known as Sankarshan." Sankarshan means attraction. So might as well read the end of the purport. To the end, the word Yoga Nidra is significant. When one is spiritually reconnected through self-realization, one regards his material life as having been like a dream. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Ya Nisha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Samyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sanisha Pashyato Munehe. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-controlled. And the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective stage. The stage of self-realization is called Yoga Nidra. All material activities appear to be a dream. When one is spiritually, all material activities appear to be a dream when one is spiritually awakened. Thus, Yoga Nidra may be explained to be Yogamaya. Now you're even more confused. We're going to end class on that confusing note. Yoga Nidra is Yogamaya. Anyway, the point is, Krishna wants something done. He calls Yogamaya, says, I need this and that done. She's the producer of the drama. So she makes it happen. You know, Krishna needs a lot of things done. And because some of these things are major tasks, they're actually his Shaktis. But the Shaktis are all personified. So it might be a particular energy that Krishna is employing, but it's personified in the person, and the person who's that energy does these things, which ordinary people wouldn't do, because they're not personifications of the energy. Unless ordinary people are empowered with some Shakti, they can do it. But these personalities are the Shakti. It's not so much empowered by the Shakti, although that's true, but they are the Shakti. Okay, I hope you're less confused than you were before. Okay, that's it for today. And maybe we learned something. Maybe we didn't. We learned something. Confusion is not bad, because confusion just tells us I need to learn more. I don't have as great a grasp on the philosophy as I should have, as I need to have, and that's why I'm confused. But even sometimes knowledgeable devotees become confused, because some points are subtle, some points appear to be contradictory, and some points just are so transcendental they're difficult to understand. So it's nothing to lament about. It just serves as an impetus to try to understand more. I didn't understand this. Let me read more about it. Let me discuss this with some knowledgeable devotees, and then, like that, I can understand. So, don't lament. Mm-hmm. Okay, Marco's going to give his understanding. The fact that Yogamaya accepts Krishna's order unequivocally makes it clear that Krishna is the Supreme God. Yeah, that's one conclusion. And defeats the Mayavad philosophy once and for all. For you it does, but not for them, because they want to be God and nothing's going to stop them. And once, Prabhupada said, once one is contaminated by Mayavada philosophy, it's like an addiction. It's hard to overcome. We had a Mayavadi join, Indian man. Prabhupada wouldn't let him go out and preach. He said, for 1 year you study my books before you open your mouth. It's like an addiction. Okay, everyone. As you can see, I'm running on 2 cylinders today. I woke up tired. I don't know why. It might have something to do with about 6 hours of classes I gave yesterday. And staying up at late at night, finishing my rounds, which got compromised because my daughter called me at 5 minutes to 5 and said, do you know you're giving class in the Alachua temple, Sunday feast? I said, That was when I was going to finish my rounds. I said, I thought I was, but I wasn't sure because it wasn't in my calendar. And anyway, I shot out to the temple, had a kurta through a dodion, and shot to the temple. And I got there 3 minutes before the Sunday feast announcements were over. So then I gave another class right after that class. And then I had some prasadam. And then I had to finish something. And then I was chanting my rounds. Stayed up late. So that's my story. Even sometimes Mahatmas get tired. It happens. Hare Krishna to all of you. Be Krishna conscious, as Prabhupada said. There's nothing really else to do in this life than be Krishna conscious. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, go Premanande, Hari Hari Bo, go Premanande, Hari Hari Bo.